Hello, chat.
That's crisp.
And welcome back to Titan Talk. It's been a week.
It's been a while.
It's been a week.
It's been a nice while.
Did you have a nice Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I had a little bit of a staycation. Usually I travel, and this time I didn't, and I needed that break, which was nice.
That's
what
good.
about you?
Yeah, it was good. Had a little Friendsgiving yesterday.
Hey, let's
a little
go.
Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving Day.
Nice.
Read a couple books.
Ooh, which ones?
I read this book called Amatka,
Okay.
which was really interesting. It was it's like a sci-fi dystopian thing.
Ooh, cool.
Where
Like
everything is named and marked. So like this would say cup on it.
Right. Oh.
And when you look
like
at
literally labeled.
Yeah, and when you look at it, you say cup.
Oh.
Because if you don't, things dissolve.
Whoa. Okay, I like it.
Right,
It's
so that's
like
the premise of it.
impermanence. I like it.
And it's set in kind of like a totalitarian kind of society in this weird world. It's very interesting. I like that. And then I also read like I don't even remember what it's called. Oh, Fourth Wing.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
That was on my list.
It was okay.
Yeah, I've heard it's
okay.
you know.
It was so popular, and there was a copy of it laying around my house.
It was a book talk book for sure.
And I was like, I'll try it. It's at my house. This is going to be an easy read.
Something about Harry Potter with dragons or something like that.
Well, so here's the thing. If it was just Harry Potter with dragons, I think it would be better.
Yeah.
It's also like Twilight.
Oh no, for sure. It's on the on that side of things.
And I think like if they cut all the romance out of it, I would have enjoyed it.
That's
a
not
lot
what it's
more.
about. It's a romance book talk.
I get it, but like I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm in the middle of reading Throne of Glass, so I totally understand.
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
I'm like, I don't know. It felt like it was trying to be like Divergent or something.
Sure.
You know,
yeah,
but
exactly.
Divergent was fine without the romance. Anyway.
Also true.
We're back. Like we said, it's been a week of doing other things, but we're back. And we have a patch tomorrow. I see Zarwark saying, Kilgoon, make sure ads are off, please. I did. I got everything set up. I changed the title for the stream myself today.
Nice.
And I turned off ads, so we should be good. We are going to go through patch notes today, and then we have kind of an interesting discussion point.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to do that before or after we do patch notes? After?
Let's do after.
Yeah, maybe people will stream in. So let me find the button here. Let's see. I go to our handy dandy desktop.
Nice.
Yeah, Open Beta 24. This goes live tomorrow.
And we're in December. It's crazy.
Yeah, these patch notes are live on the website. If you go to this URL, they won't appear in the news section yet, but just change Open Beta 23 to 24 when you click on the last one, and they'll show up. Oops, I don't need that. So coming tomorrow, we will have RTO. RTO, still even good in our playtest today.
So yeah, we were still debating about how strong we think she's going to release, but I think she's just got so much potential with both of the forms, and then obviously the aspect won't be coming out immediately, but then you throw that into the mix, and it's going to be even crazier. Yeah. She's going to do good. She's going to do good. It's also going to be a good answer to some people's they're like, oh, what about Mordred, Achilles, and Aladdin and stuff? Well, like Adaji.
You got a cripple field?
You got a cripple field.
Yeah.
It's pretty darn strong.
Very, very strong. Some new plus ones, if you haven't seen RTO's kit reveal and whatnot, she does now have ranged basic attacks in her druid form. The range that she heals on her one in druid form is larger. Mm-hmm. And I think that's pretty much it from what I remember for the base kit.
No, I was just reading chat. They're ready.
Yes. The chat says bears because the aspect is pretty crazy.
Is it just aspect of bears?
It's called aspect of the Den Mother.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
But basically, you will almost like Achilles. You will pick your stance when you're in the fountain, and you can either be bear form or druid form. Mm-hmm. And then once you leave, you will have amplified abilities. I think is the best way to say it.
Yep.
Including an actual ultimate in
Which
each form.
Which is pretty crazy.
Yeah. So it's a pretty big one.
A lot of work from the team. Good stuff.
Yeah. So check it out when it goes live. That's going to go live on the 5th of December, so Friday. So you'll have base RTO to look forward to for the first half of the week, and then on Friday we will have the aspect of the Den Mother.
Very cool.
We also have a bunch of new Wandering Market Travelers going live in this update.
Nice.
We have the Knights of Osiris, which is both the Noble Knight and Black Knight Osiris skin, plus a bunch of prisms that all look great. And a new ward skin that's a bloody bunny.
All right, not because I'm trying to type it out, or more so because I might be misunderstanding. Is that meant to be limbs optional or libs optional?
Probably limbs.
Just because I was curious if I missed like an ad libs gimmick or something. Okay.
I don't know. Hindu Man copied this over.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm not trying to throw him under the bus or anything.
Each of us are just like pointing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the intent was. Probably limbs.
Yeah,
optional.
like tis but a scratch. That's what I was thinking.
Yep. Polar Prankster Donzaburo also coming with the new traveler.
Yeah,
this is an all new skin. It looks great. Kind of polar bear Donzaburo with some really cool prisms, including this gummy bear, gummy bash one.
I'm just gonna put this out there because someone asked me about this. Whenever we get the chance and the timing lines up, not like it's not meant to, there should be a panda prism somewhere. Doesn't need to be a panda skin, but a panda prism.
Okay. Hinduman says it says limbs in game and F us. So, yes. Also, Mystic Guardian Athena is getting repackaged into a traveler here. So if you own any of these prisms tomorrow, you will get this for free. We also, I don't think we specifically listed it here, but I believe if you own, I believe the Scylla Snow Day is also coming out here.
Yes, I'm so excited.
So if you have enough peppermint candies, you will get Snow Day Scylla in the Traveler for free.
One of my favorite skins.
Yep. Game modes. We have some changes to Conquest. Base teleporters will now automatically cancel if the tower that's being teleported is destroyed. Pyromancer. We've removed the structure damage that gets dealt to the lowest health enemy tower when you kill Pyromancer.
Yep.
And now you actually have to use the bomb to do that.
The bombs are stronger due to that.
Yeah, so now the bombs will bypass backdoor protections. They will do more damage if there's nobody in there with them. And they can no longer be destroyed by basic attacks. So
cool.
Definitely stronger.
Also, just as a reminder, people, this is not a new thing, but you can use the runic bombs on the base defense doors.
Yeah.
That can be really useful.
It can be, yeah. I just want to use it all sorts of places. I don't know.
I saw someone use it to do a knock-up effect to an enemy god, and it helped them keep them alive, which is really cool.
For Assault, we've adjusted the healer tiers. So this is based on data of what the consistent kind of top healers are. So Guan Yu, Ra, Sylvanas will be tier 1. Aphrodite, Emoji Bear, and Samadi will be tier 2. And Cupid and Eset will be tier 3. Quick Play Joust. We've decreased the respawn times, just trying to keep that mode moving a little bit faster, a little bit less downtime.
That's Quick Play specifically.
Yeah, just for Quick Play. A bunch of God Balance.
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff.
Any highlights? Should we read through the whole thing? Should we just?
I think we can just do like a mini TLDR for each one.
Okay. So,
Aladdin buff. We already talked about that a little bit. These I know we did some hot fixes on the shields and stuff like that, but I think Aladdin came out with the rework stuff going on. It's been feeling pretty good. I think Pon was over here last time. He showed some graphs and stuff like that, and we saw that Aladdin, while good in the right hands, can still use a little bit of love. We want to be careful without throwing like the whole kitchen sink at him. So we're just going to do a little bit of time, and this is where we thought the most important parts were, and we're going to reassess as things go on. But overall, the goal for the Aladdin soft rework has been pretty successful, and we're excited to see that people are still enjoying Aladdin with the new changes.
Yeah, and we showed some graphs last Monday of how things were going so far, so go back and catch the VOD if you want to see it. Bellona is being nerfed. Heal on her Scourge is now going to scale up to 10 rather than being a flat 10, so that early game healing should be hit a little bit. Eagles Rally also.
A whole bunch of places.
It just gave so much invisible strength. Or power, I guess is the right way to say it.
Not specifically scales off of protection scaling as well, so some amounts of that. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's really good, and so that's been toned down a little bit. Cerberus underperforming. He's going to do a little more damage with his 1 and his 3. It's going to be basically the most important part here is that it's going to be easier to kill the souls that you create.
To
get the stacks.
I was still astounded the fact that the souls actually had health regen. So there's once where it got down to like 1 HP and was almost dead, and then just start climbing back up. I'm like, what is happening here? That's been removed.
Dodgy continues to be nerfed because she continues to be good.
Yeah.
TLDR.
A little bit strong. The aspect of ferocity notes that we had here were actually already hot fixed in. So that's already been in the game for several days now. That being said, Dodgy base is going to be getting those passive and the 1 nerfs, but both of those do affect the aspect as well. So this will be affecting both base and aspect again with this patch. And if we need to do more nerfs, we absolutely can. That being said, again, RTO's coming out, and that cripple field is going to be really good against Saji. Yeah,
we'll have to see how things pan out with the meta. Eset getting nerfed also continues to do a lot of damage. It seems like with the passive giving her basic attacks a lot of power, and then increasing the cooldown so you don't start with one. That is a big one, because this was just up so often.
Yeah, it was really interesting because I remember in playtest, everyone was just like, her cooldowns are so short, but at the same time, those were parity Smite 1 numbers. And what did we do? Like, now that we hit the 2 cooldown, we've hit the 3 cooldown. Like, these feel more in line, but technically those were Smite 1 parity cooldown numbers.
Aspect also will have some decreased heal protection scaling.
Yeah, the Aspect continues to be doing quite well in the support lane.
Hades is getting a buff. It's going to be a little bit tankier, which makes sense for somebody who needs to get in there to do anything.
Some of those bruiser stats.
And a little bit more intelligence scaling on his 1. Hanbots will be nerfed. His free strength that he gets from his passive going down a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit of a bonk for his, his bonking, because his stats continue to be solidly good. I know he kind of like fell off the radar, but then he just started climbing back up. So this is kind of one of those slightly preemptive ones. It's going to hit the high level a little bit more. We didn't want to do something too crazy, but Hanbats is doing quite well right now.
Jormungandr he also continues to just be very good.
Great in the right hands and still not so good in everyone else's hands.
He's one of those.
He's one of those.
That's so weird. I would never think of Jormungandr as a high skill character because not that like
it's so from my understanding, really, it's just that he bullies in the early game, and it's really hard for a lot of people to convert an early game win to like a mid to late game win, right? But in the right hands, like they know what to do, they know what to build. So we did a shift before for Jormungandr. We're doing it again, kind of decreasing some of that initial power, decreasing the passive effect, which is going to go on through the entire game. So that is a whole game shift because we saw that was actually the buff we gave him before. It was just causing a little bit too much frustration. But now he has a new effect, which, the 4 has always been something that's slightly underwhelming. And so with this new effect, each enemy god you hit on any of the components of it, the emerge, the submerge, the crash, will now provide a stacking protections buff. And this is based off of you guys. I was listening to the Titan Talk, which I'm glad I was. Everyone should be listening to it. And the idea that you guys had was that the effect happens at the end of the duration rather than something that's happening during it.
Cool.
So made sure that worked.
Sweet. Excited to see how that plays out for people. Kali getting a buff on her 1 and her 2.
Yeah, it's one of those gods where, like, when she came out and after the aspect and stuff, everyone's like, crazy, 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 nerf. We hit her so hard that she's just down at the bottom of the list. I haven't seen a Kali myself in, like, weeks.
Mercury getting a little bit of a nerf on his 3. You can no longer insta-cancel to throw people.
Yes, this was a +1 that he got coming to Smite 2, but the +1 was just a little bit too good, so we're nerfing it a little bit.
Medusa having decreased cooldown on her ult pretty significantly here. 20 seconds is a lot.
It's going to be a big deal. That being said, 90 seconds is kind of the typical cooldown for an ultimate. I think this one came from the ambassadors, and we definitely agreed.
Ilphasian has been buffed.
What are we doing?
We fixed an issue where Mulan's Hua Mulan should have been under H, I guess technically. We changed it. I'm pretty sure he copied this exactly from the balance doc. So
me.
Yes. Fixed an issue where the projectile was traveling too slowly, so it now will reach max range much more quickly, and a small adjustment so the hit timing after the pull feels more in sync. Osiris aspect.
That's a big one.
Decrease the protection from item scaling from 15% to 0%
fat egg.
On Sickle Strike.
One of the ideas we had here for Osiris for the aspect was to kind of allow him to be a little bit of a bruiser mage playstyle. We wanted him to do that mage. We want him to be an ability effect, but I think everyone's kind of like Death of the Author and just disagreed. There's like, this is too strong. We don't like that idea. We don't mind him doing abilities, but he shouldn't be scaling with protection at the same time. Fair. If this is the way the direction feels the most fun for the game, that's what we're going to lean towards. So,
Pele is getting buffed. I was wrecking with Pele before, so I look forward to wrecking harder.
This was for you. This was your Thanksgiving present.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Increased fuel regain on your 1 with increased initial damage strength scaling.
Yeah, so a little bit of scaling on the 1, a little bit of scaling on the 2. That increased fuel regain, I think, is actually there on the aspect, but stronger. So it's going to just be a little bit stronger for the base Pele as well. She's another one where we nerfed her. I think some of the lifesteal and healing hits hurt her a lot too. So these will hopefully bring her back up just a tad.
Princess Bari getting a little bit of a shift, but the goal is to buff.
Yes.
Basically trying to push the intelligence version a little bit from what I read this. So if you're playing Bari in the new patch, try Int.
Yep, try Int. The 3 has always been quite strong, and the fact that we're shifting it in this way just kind of leans you away from having to like max the 3. And that's a really easy ability to hit for the most part, especially when you're double casting it with the spirit regen as well. But yeah, I'm very interested to see how Princess Bari does. Statistically, she's been pretty underwhelming, kind of like Kali after all those nerfs.
Ra can now proc item ability effects on his 2 again, but at a decreased strength from 100% to 50%. And Solar Blessing's heal is getting taken down a little bit from base, but the intelligence scaling, but that's only of the damage, correct?
Yes, that's only for the damage.
Yeah.
Yep, that's correct. So, we wanted to have this kind of effect. We didn't really have the proc item effect things working properly until Jormungandr came out, so now we can kind of add that back. And we did.
Shibalanke is getting nerfed again. Continues to be good.
Continues to be
closer
good.
Closer to good, or
great.
Or closer to balance.
Yeah, he was great in the non-aspect version. His aspect version, by the way, tanked. I think is like one of the worst like things in the game right now. So
wow.
I mean, that's, you know, he obviously had the 2 ulti 2 combo, and people just really didn't like that. And right now, Aspect Xbalanque is like dumpster. But Xbalanque in base is actually doing quite well. So you can see some pretty heavy nerfs on the ulti specifically. I think one of the ones that will matter a lot is actually that split projectile range being decreased.
Yes,
it's one of the things where like whether it's the homing damage,
those
the
free hits,
it just felt. I was also surprised. I checked SMITE 1 and I checked SMITE 2, and it was parity, but it just feels so long. It feels unfortunate. So that's going to be decreased by a sizable margin.
Some item balance changes. Talisman of Purification. We fixed an issue where the caster could not benefit from CC immunity if they were untargetable. So, example, if you were falling from Giannis portal. Leather Cowl is now 50 gold cheaper. Hunter's Cowl is now 10 strength more. Sharpshooter's Arrow is 10% or 10 more basic attack power. And decrease range to get the bonus attack damage, so it's not just at the very, very end of the attack. Yeah,
exactly. It's a little bit too much of a sharpshooter. Those 3 were some of the worst starters / upgrades. We wanted to buff those up a tad.
Dagger of Frenzy continues to be the knife edge of its OP or its garbage, so we're increasing the cost a little bit and decreasing the attack speed so it scales over time. So I think that's really the big thing, right? Yeah. So if you buy it early, it's not going to give you that just crazy power spike.
It'll still be good, but it's probably more of like a mid-game item now.
Eye of Erebus, increased slow duration, decreased cooldown. Just still haven't seen this one picked up too much.
Yeah, it's honestly all 3 of the new items, and it's kind of a new item effect, a little bit more niche, just aren't being utilized as much. That being said, I know there's a lot more tanks that are starting to build effigy specifically, and we're seeing a lot more use out of that. But Eye of Erebus and Chandra's Grace, both not being seen as much. Chandra's Grace could have seen a buff here. I know there's been some suggestions on how to shift it.
I still think it's good, but I don't know.
Statistically, it's, I think, top 4 items in the game.
Really?
So that's one of the reasons it's not on here, but we might play around with the internal cooldown and the way that kind of functions to make it a little bit more approachable, but maybe kind of shift it so it's not as strong at the same time.
I feel like on Aspect Guan Yu, it's the first item I build every time.
Aspect Guan Yu's quite good, and with Chandra's Grace, totally. I can see that.
Polynomicon. This is a big one.
We did it. Yeah,
we did it. But we didn't have the final details on this when we talked about it on Monday. So it will now have an internal cooldown of 2 seconds.
Yes. Which matches SMITE 1 parity.
But there will be increased bonus damage intelligence scaling from 60 to 80%. So it will hit harder, but you can't just dump your entire kit in a fraction of a second. You'd have to be a little more intentional about it, spreading it out 2 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is one that was actually really tough. It was interesting because we almost got like unanimous, hey, you should nerf Poly. Yeah. And then as soon as we talked about it, for the first time in a while, we actually saw the second side of like the coin kind of flipping. And everyone's like, wait, no, I don't know about this. We took a second to decide what we wanted to do here because it seemed pretty 50-50 split. But we decided to continue on with the nerf, make sure it wasn't too egregious. This is definitely a lot closer to SMITE 1. And frankly, it's something that we wanted to do from the beginning. We just didn't have like the tools, the knowledge on how to just like, because it's actually a little bit more complicated because you need to make sure we hit the god with the basic attack, which then applies internal cooldown because this does not apply in misses from what I believe. So hopefully this isn't going to be too frustrating. This will definitely be less applicable to like all mages who can use this. Merlin's definitely getting a hit with this for sure. I know some people were joking about that. But statistically, he's actually kind of underpowered. So with this nerf, maybe we can buff him again, just maybe.
Yep. Awesome.
Oh, no, Chongo Best is in here. No. See, that's what Saichi's got it right. Correct as usual, Saichi. Nice one.
Awesome. That's everything that we have written down. But there's something else that we're going to be doing in this update.
Oh, are we doing it? We're talking about it?
I mean, I feel like it's time, right? What else are we going to talk about?
To be fair, you and I talked about it. You're just like, all right, if we're going to do this, you're coming on the show.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit. Okay.
So, I will add this to the patch notes later today, and that's actually what
someone guessed it as well. Did you see that?
No,
I
didn't.
We were gonna have a discussion right at the top of the patch notes. Someone immediately was just like, "Is it this?"
Yeah,
and they were right.
Clumsy.
Hi.
How are we feeling about CC buffering?
We're feling pretty split about.
We're feeling pretty split about CC buffering,
frankly speaking.
And I would agree that the community is also feeling pretty split about CC buffering.
Yes.
Right now. My personal opinion is that I liked it, and I thought it made a lot of sense for players when we were doing CC buffering consistently on all non-channeled abilities, including movement abilities. I think the current form is maybe almost harder to understand because it's like what's going to be CC buffered, what's not going to be CC buffered.
It also doesn't solve for one of the things that people kind of assumed it would solve, which is server-client disagreement. Like we're in a network-based game. That's always going to be there. Mm-hmm. Even if you kind of think you've cast an ability, sometimes you will not have because of server-client disagreement. Yeah. And CC buffering will never be the thing that solves that.
So Clumsy has been pushing for it. Please blame Clumsy. No, I'm just kidding. that we should run a test
Yes.
where we disable CC buffering and see how it goes. The main reason I think we want to be a little bit careful, and I'll let you talk about the details, but I just want to say, as a test, we do want to get feedback because people have been playing with CC buffering for a while, right? Is it better or worse, right? And also, one of the reasons why it was introduced is because we thought it would improve the feeling of the game for new players, in addition to addressing what was considered to be rampant CC, for high-end players. And if removing it leads to like measurable negative impacts on the game, even if there's some positive community feedback on Reddit or something, it may still not stick around forever. We may go back to CC buffering.
Yeah, luckily the way this was developed, we have the ease of use to kind of, for better or worse, kind of like flip the switch. We can kind of turn this on and off as we need to. It's definitely got a hidden cost to doing something like that. Even deciding to do this test, it's not something we took lightly. We implemented this feature. It took a lot of dev time, and we wanted to make sure that when we kind of initially pushed this, that it's going to have a positive impact kind of ubiquitously. Like this was something that we wanted to make sure felt good for everyone. But as we saw the discussions, as we continued to progress with the feature and with time built on it, we realized we were never going to get it to be exactly where we needed it to be. And if anything, the discourse on it has proven that it's kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
We wanted to find out, with this in mind, whether it's going to be something that's positive for the game or negative for the game, with a little bit more information and data based on that.
Yeah. So we'll be running this for a test, at least for the beginning of the update.
Yeah.
If there's overwhelming negative feedback, or if the data shows that this is harming the game, we'll turn it back on sooner, right? But we do want to get enough data out there of like, hey, is this more the way that we want to play Smite 2? Is this the way that all players, even the ones that don't contribute on Reddit or in chat here, want to play Smite 2? And we'll see kind of what the data suggests.
Yeah, and obviously I saw some stuff in chat that are still like, okay, well, what about some other things? Like, whether it's CCR as a stat and stuff like that, we can still play around with those as a system. There's definitely a lot of things that we can do, but specifically for this, we want to focus on the idea of CC buffering and whether it's good or bad for people who know about it and for people who don't know about it. So this would come into effect with tomorrow's patch.
Yeah, with tomorrow's patch. So we will, CC buffering will be off with tomorrow's patch. And let us know how it feels. We're curious to see.
Give it a little bit of time. It's not something that we're going to assess within a day. It'll be something that we definitely will take us several days, if not a whole patch cycle to see. Yeah,
and I think you will see, we've been playtesting with it internally, and I will say it is still kind of a mixed bag. Right. Yeah. There's some moments where I'm like, yeah, that felt better. And there's other moments where I'm like, that kind of felt worse. Right. But it's like, how do you take the whole, you got to take the good with the bad here.
Yeah,
it's either all on or all off kind of at this point. So, so we're going to be running that test. We want to see how people feel about it. People have been asking us to run more tests.
There we go.
We're running a test. Anything else you want to talk about today?
Not specifically. I mean, I guess the only other thing, since we're talking about these heavy-hitting topics, is we've got, this is one of the last patches of this year.
We have one more big patch after
One more big patch after this, yeah.
And then we'll be going on our holiday break.
Yeah.
So it'll be instead of the normal 2 weeks between patches, it'll be 4 weeks between patches because we have Christmas and New Year's, and a lot of people will be out, obviously. So, yeah, we have 2 more big updates for the year, and then on into the new year. So
it's exciting.
Yep. Cool. You want to start taking questions? Anything else?
Yeah, it might be about that time.
Let's do it. I do see somebody saying that they can't buy diamonds on Xbox. We have not seen that. So if you have any more details about like what region you're in, like what country you're from, if you're trying to buy them in game or if you're trying to buy them on the Xbox storefront, anything that could help us diagnose that a little bit better, we can definitely take a look into it. But we've still been showing sales constantly over the past few days. So I don't think it's a widespread issue, but please let us know any more details and we can look into it.
I mean, I know it's a hot topic and I'm not saying we're never going to change things, but the feedback currently for agility and ranked is almost what we'd expect it to be, which is like, it's there and it exists, but it's not like a lot of people are using it. People are using it in the few circumstances. I know there's certain gods that use it better, like, maybe Hercules and Jormungandr. But I mean, anecdotally, I've definitely seen some people in ranked use it when they definitely should have been buying beads or Aegis, and they're suffering for it, right? Because it doesn't give you the utility in a way and the survivability that you'd expect. I think it's kind of serving its purpose for now. And with the nerf, I think the nerf definitely helped this be a lot more feasible. But it's something that's, again, we're going to keep assessing how this feels over time.
From North America in-game. We'll take a look again after this, but we have been seeing sales, so we'll take a look. Okay. Made a note. This is a wild balance suggestion, but I love wild balance suggestions. Okay. Can we test Cupid having an omnidirectional dash? Maybe having a 25% decrease in distance, if not forward. I don't know how I feel about that.
Is that just choosing like an 8-way dash?
Like an 8-way dash is what they're saying, instead of a forward dash.
Omnidirectional, or does that mean like you can dash and charge
I'm sure they mean 8-way dash. I'm sure they mean 8-way dash.
Yeah, it's just interesting because like theoretically it already is that if you move your camera. Sure, it's a little bit less useful, but I would argue that most of the time, at least for keyboard and mouse, that would just be a nerf. Mm-hmm. For a controller, I could see that being a shift, neutral. Some people with high enough sense could probably see that as a nerf. So it's one of those things. It's like that's not going to be great in all circumstances. Like it's not a strict buff; it's more of a shift. Mm-hmm. And I'm less excited about that. Do you feel Daji will be less aggressive with the nerf, or do you think she might need more? So Daji is definitely one of those characters, and we knew this going in. Assassins a whole are like this. They're a little bit feast or famine. They're all in. They either go in and get the kill, or they go in and die. I know that sounds almost too simplistic, but Daji's kind of just almost the archetype of that in mind. The nerfs that already went in with the hotfix for the aspect will definitely have helped. The future nerfs that are coming in tomorrow will help some more. We absolutely will do more if necessary. That's not a problem for us. But as we kind of talked about, it's really tough because like if we want to nuke characters, we can nuke characters. But as we saw with like Kali and Bari and several other ones, they just fall down to the bottom of the list. And then we almost have to just arbitrarily wait several patches for people to like forget the fact that like they hated Kali being in all their games, and we have to just buff them up slowly over time. It is theoretically better and much healthier for everyone to nerf them slightly slower. That being said, again, we did a hotfix and we can do more nerfs. We're not scared of doing that, but it's just something to keep in mind for everyone.
I'm still getting all the God filters saying solo in the match lobby God select. That will be addressed in the OB24 update tomorrow. Mm-hmm. We just didn't write it down in the patch notes, but that has been fixed as part of this next update. Are we getting a roadmap next week? Probably not. I think we are still kind of in the middle of the last roadmap. We have Newt. Yep. Is going to be the next god after.
Oh, we haven't talked past that, have we?
We have not talked past that. But I don't think we're quite ready to probably start playtesting the next god or anything. So we'll probably wait a little bit before we do any kind of a further
playtesting the next god after Newt.
Well, we are. But I don't know
for them, for PTS.
Yeah,
no. You guys don't get that. Only we get that.
Yeah.
Drinking beer. No, just the Diet Coke. And a fancy Alani. Is that one of the new ones?
This is the new. Yeah, this is Breezeberry. This is part of the winter pack.
That can is cool looking.
It's cool looking, and it's like a blue raspberry, which nice. I love blue raspberry. It's one of my favorite artificial flavors.
Really? That's cool. W bound changes. Heck yeah, Chris. We love to hear it.
We try. We try. A lot of people asking about the next god. Yeah, we'll let you know when we let you know. Just give us a few minutes.
I wanted to say a spoiler, but
we're working on the things we're working on. I see this person posting about a studio created custom voice packs in a different language for Smite 1 gods. Is it possible to use these files in Smite 2 without risking a ban? I don't know anything about this. I know that in the early days when Smite 1 was being published by Level Up in Latin America and Brazil, some gods did have voice packs that were re-recorded in either Brazilian Portuguese or Latin American Spanish. I don't know if that's what you're talking about specifically, but I don't know of any way to use those in Smite 2. It was, it would only apply to a handful of gods from the early days of Smite, if that's what you're talking about. So sorry, I don't really know too much about that. I just, pretty much we support the English voice packs.
Smite X Alani when that's like the was it Thor that had a can skin. I hate all of those skins, but if it wasn't a Lonnie Thor, that would be kind of
tried
funny.
reaching out to them on LinkedIn several times, but they just ignored me.
If anyone has an in with Alani, let us know.
Yeah. They got bought by Celsius, I think.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so.
That would be the funniest first collab.
We already did one. We did Lord of the Rings. We did the
movie. But I guess that wasn't with a skin.
No skin.
Yeah. New Dodgy specifies as a vortex, but doesn't contribute for the vortex. Can we just delete the vortex quest?
That's a good idea.
All right.
Because that quest is the quest that's always broken.
Let's do it. Let's delete it.
Delete.
Vortex quest. We're doing it live, guys.
Vortex quest. Okay.
The next one will be distance traveled with your Smite card teleport effects that you bought with diamonds.
You gotta make a buck. Total amount of hard CC done in endgame totals. That's something I'd like to see. Things that I would love to see added to the endgame is like I'd love to see more like CC like CC time. Maybe I don't know if it's like time CC or CC score or something.
Yeah,
right?
That would be cool.
We've had people say that they would like to see vision change to like vision score instead of wards placed. You know, which would factor in like wards cleared and things like that, which would be interesting. I would also love to see. We show healing, but we don't show shielding.
Oh, sure.
And I think that like damage shielded is actually like very important for some gods. So like
true negation.
Yeah, if you watch like Geb or Odin's post-match stats, they're always going to look like lower because they shield a lot of the damage and they don't actually take the damage to mitigate it. So
no, the more of those, the better.
Yeah, love to do those at some point.
What? I don't even know what this means, but I'm going to read it out anyways because I like the way he formatted it. Hey, Kilgoon.
Yeah.
I just bought a house, but I'd love to see another house in the game sometime next year. Wink, wink. What does that mean? But congratulations on your house.
I'm going to guess this is a veiled Baba Yaga request.
Oh, yeah. You're so smart.
Yeah. It's either that or he misses the old Smite esports song of take a trip to my house, my house, my house.
Yeah. No, my brain was just, me and Austin were talking about like, wow, they have housing coming out. So it's just like, you know, that one day we should have housing in Smite.
WoW finally is getting housing?
Yeah.
Wow.
It looks pretty good.
That's crazy.
I'm excited.
It was a big deal in Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, yeah.
And EverQuest 2 actually had really good housing.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones that I missed.
I used to be a big MMO fiend. I don't know if
I'm
anymore.
AJ was as well, and I love talking about all the old school MMOs. Heck, I'm still playing old school RuneScape. So.
Oh, okay. But sailing, how is it?
It requires. So I have a newish Iron Man account.
Okay.
And sailing requires kind of like mid to late game skills, so I won't be able to touch it for a little while.
Rip.
Yeah.
Should we add a housing game mode instead of adding Clash or Slash or
Yes.
Siege?
I think everyone would be okay with that. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Just turn Smite into Animal Crossing. Yeah, I'm so down. But of course, Smite Card 2 comes first before all of it. I appreciate all of you guys for being on the same page.
Yeah, this is great. Maybe we just turn it into like a Farmville.
Yeah. Would people even be upset? Like if we just went in that direction, I feel like everyone would be happy with it.
I think it'd be fine.
How do you guys feel about the Loki aspect? We were personally like a great. Oh heck yeah!
I love Loki aspect. It's like I play so much more Loki than I did before.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear.
It matches with my sensibilities, I guess.
Yeah,
so
that's cool. I think generally it's gone quite well. I think at first we were a little bit hesitant to see which direction it would go, especially because it could have flexed between solo or support. But I think it's found its place now, and that's been pretty cool. So we're excited. It's not quite the buff that Sun Prodigy wanted, but you know he got something kind of. Not really.
I think you can even play a jungle. Like
I think
it's still just like tanky jungle.
I actually did see a tanky jungler build that did end up going in and was quite successful.
It's probably not at like the highest elo, but like I think people care way too much about what happens in Smite Prime or
Absolutely.
It's like we're not at that level.
I've been preaching about this for a while, but like there's too many people that get upset when things are done like off meta. Like I understand if someone goes off meta and then like feeds in your game, that can be frustrating. Sure. But at the same time, like I've had people that go on meta and feed in my games, right? So like, is it the off meta thing or is it just the player or like how they're feeling at the time? Especially in casuals,
Mm-hmm. Person says they main Bologna jungle. Cool. You
do
you, man.
Nice. And see, I haven't seen that in a while, but I love people doing things that are unexpected. An item that redirects damage to the person using the item. It's be like that one starter item that I can never remember their names, right? Like where you just people around you take damage and then you take that damage instead. Those are passively extremely OP.
Yeah.
It'd probably have to be something that like almost more of an active item or something. Compassion, that's the one. Thank you, Mytheria. Oh, Mytheria's here. That means we need to do Morgan nerfs, I think. I think that's how that works.
J-Dog, if you just like search the diamonds on the Xbox storefront, can you buy them that way? Just out of curiosity, because it seems like maybe there's something. The issue seems to be like when you click in game. I'm still gonna look after it, but I see you posting, and I'm just continuing the conversation here.
And Jax, I think we've said it a lot. As much as I would love Tiamat, I don't want to make the artists cry.
Yeah,
probably be a little while.
They want a special holiday Titan Talk stream where I sit silently in front of a Yule log for 8 hours, like the old Overwatch Jeff Kaplan. I'm gonna say.
Wait, did he do that?
He did one year. He just sat there like drinking coffee
for hours.
It was a while. I don't know if it was 8 hours.
It couldn't have been 8 hours. It had to have been a lot.
We did our 24-hour Umoja live stream.
Yeah, we did. We had people like come into the office and like make sure they showed up and something with the fill up a glass of water or something like that. Yeah. You can do it then, Jax, but it'll be the same answer every time.
Any plans for overall UI main menu with more accolades, profile section? Yeah, more stats. All that stuff is on the list of things that we would like to do. There are a lot of things that we want to do, so it's just we can only do one thing at a time. So we prioritize the things that we think are going to have the most impact, and we keep rolling.
We keep rolling.
Can we look at assault matchmaking? I would say in general, we are looking at all matchmaking right now. We have been making some changes recently that
those have been really interesting.
They've been really interesting. That have Pompon's the person who could talk most eloquently about them. But essentially, we've sped up matchmaking, and for most players, we have made the matchmaking better overall. There are some people who are getting worse matches that we're now looking into, and we're seeing what we need to do there. I would say mostly I haven't seen Assault having bad matchmaking. It seems like more of the issues have been centered around Arena because of some odd specificities.
There you
Specifics?
Go. Sure.
I don't know.
One of those
some
words.
odd reasons why how Arena's MMR is configured. Apparently it uses a different range than every other mode for some reason. Of course it does. Yeah. So I think we're more aware of Arena issues, but we've definitely been looking into all the queues and think that there's still some room for improvement for sure. Just delete Arena. It's fine. Nobody would notice. People would definitely notice. It is an extremely popular mode. I know that it is not the popular mode for Twitch chat, but it is a very popular mode.
This one was fun. If the art team fears Tiamat, who does the dev team fear? Well, we're all devs, but if you mean the design, I mean, programming fears like King Arthur's movement and
Kleena.
I was going to say, Kleena for sure.
And the time dilation on Olaran and Bake Kujira.
There you go. Those are the ones.
Yeah.
Programming and design are basically the same.
To the point where they're like, we could change Bake Kujira's ult and then do something different.
Olaran's ult just is a big old slow. I mean, hopefully everyone's okay with that.
But yeah, those are kind of the bigger tech issues right now.
Yeah, for sure. Does balance fear Freya? Maybe a little bit, but I think we actually had a good idea for some of the problem gods. I'm not going to talk about which ones specifically. Yeah. So we like tackling those. It's almost just like, little brain teaser exercises. Who does audio fear? Is Kellen here?
As someone who loves Christmas/winter skins, why aren't there more of them? We have kind of a pipeline limit for how much stuff we can do. We try and bring over as much stuff as we can. There will be some more Christmas skins in the next update, and then we'll be at the end of the year, and it doesn't really make sense to keep doing them. But I would say also it's very possible to do too much of a thing, and people start to lose interest, right? So we always try and make sure that there's a variety of skin themes available, and even when we're in a season, we'll do a few options around that.
Yeah.
But then we need to make sure we're doing other things too, because otherwise
it's just doubling down and it's just not very exciting. Kuzimbo. There's definitely people internally that like Kuzimbo. I think he's just so funny, like throwing out the kappas, the sound effects. Like he definitely came together quite well. Are we going to do him right now? Who knows? We're not going to tell you. That'd be a spoiler. And we don't leak things on this show.
I saw a lot of Reddit discourse about this over the break, just in general, and I see somebody asking here, what are our thoughts on tanks and how it feels to tank?
Definitely saw some Reddit Discord.
There were 2 different threads that were basically saying the same thing, which is, the way Reddit works.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough. Tanks have been a discussion point for the entirety of my career.
Yes.
People said like Smite 1 tanks felt good. I've had Smite 1 tank discussions for literally 10 years as well. It's one of those things where like it's incredibly hard to get right. Both on the player side and on the design side, because as soon as things get too tanky, people immediately tell you. As soon as things get too hybridy, people immediately start telling you. And even if you want to do shifts, people at a high level versus medium level to low level completely experience the game differently. People in different game modes completely experience the game differently. And during the same game, I've had people say the same thing, and this could be true of, hey, oh my god, I'm so tanky, I'm not tanky, or the opposite of I'm not tanky, oh my god, I'm so tanky. So everything's changing, and based on the characters you're playing, the modes, it's so wildly different. And obviously one of the big discussions right now is pen, is the fact that pen is so easily accessible and obtainable with a singular item. That being said, if you see people, and I saw this happen just a few days ago by a very good player too, didn't get pen on time, or didn't get pen on time, and their game is completely different and the tanks are so much tankier. It's an incredibly hard problem to solve, and it's also somewhat tied with like the TTK argument, because if people want tanks to be tankier but wants TTK to be lower, is this across the early game, the mid game, or the late game? Even in the Reddit thread that I think I saw today, they were like, look at me being tanky, and they were diving tower with one singular item, and I think everyone was generally pretty excited, but I think the people were excited because of the commentary. But if I just say, hey, towers do less damage, or you can now tank towers more in Smite 2, are people excited about that? No, the context is so incredibly important. And are we talking about the early game? Even in the commentary, they're like, oh, you're talking about being full tank, but you have one item and you're like level 6 or 7 right now. Is that really the easiest case to be talking about the balance? I know it sounds like I'm shuffling with a lot of the things that are being said, but that's because it's an incredibly hard topic to broach. And one of the things that we try to do a little bit more into Smite 2, which maybe is something that we want to walk back or something we want to be careful of, is that there's less stat distribution difference in Smite 2 than there was in Smite 1. Tanks are not as tanky compared to squishies in Smite 2. They're a little bit closer together. Even the Hades change that we're literally just doing is going away from the changes that we would usually do. And one of the reasons about that is the whole idea that we wanted people to be more flexible. We wanted roles to not fully exist. And again, maybe that's a goal that's a little bit too like highbrow. It's something that maybe won't be super obtainable. But the idea that you could go like Cupid, aspect, arrows, bow, tank, and not be so miles apart in your stat distribution compared to like a Ymir that doesn't build tanky, that's something that we thought was a very cool and fun goal to obtain, especially for a MOBA. It's like talking about the off-meta discussions. But that goes kind of like off the wall if we wanted to start making a larger class disparity again and bringing back classes. So yes, we talk about tanks, we talk about these things all the time, but it's incredibly hard to decipher how we want to make those changes. And we know already that we want to address a lot of things that will affect the tankiness just in general. Like even if we shorten the Conquest game mode or lengthen the Conquest game mode, that's going to have effects on the tankiness of characters as well, and damage being done. It's a very nuanced issue that isn't going to just be like, hey, just make everyone tankier or make tanks tankier specifically by changing their base stats. Like it's not just as simple as that.
Yep.
I mean, even in this chat, we're seeing people, some people saying that like, yeah, tanks are extremely powerful, or if you know what to build, it's tough. Positioning, of course, is a level of tankiness. Evasion is a level of tankiness. Shields, as we talked about.
Yep. Oh, I had one. Oh, this is a dumb one. This isn't the one I had, but I see a question, so I'm just going to ask it. How do you feel about chili cheese dogs? Yay or nay?
Surprise. Yeah, yay. But it's not like something that I'm going to do all the time.
Yeah, it's every once in a while a chili cheese dog hits the spot.
It's probably just also like one. Like I don't think I'm going to do like 2 chili cheese dogs. It obviously depends on their size.
Yeah. No, it's yeah.
But yeah, every once in a while. It's like having like loaded nachos or something like that, right? It's like, it's messy finger food, and I'm gonna have a good time spoiling myself every once in a while.
Yep.
I haven't had one though. I don't know. Do you know of any place that does like just like variety of hot dogs? Like I don't know where I'd go for anything but like a ball dog.
Wiener Schnitzel back in the day. I don't know if that even still exists.
Yeah, I've not even heard of that.
It was like a hot dog chain, at least in California. I don't know if it's out here. Yeah,
because Schnitzel's like something completely different.
Yeah, but I don't know. It was a. I'm gonna look them up now.
I would love a good.
Where's
like,
the nearest Wiener Schnitzel?
I don't think I've had one. I've made some, but
let's see. 3.
Thoughts on people asking the same question in the chat 10 times. It's okay. I mean, obviously, a variety of things is a lot easier, but as we say with all things, it's good to have like passion and excitement about the game. That's something that we have to improve in some way or the other.
Sorry, I'm trying to solve.
Wiener Schnitzel was so good it cost me my appendix. There you go.
Okay, the nearest Wiener Schnitzel to Georgia appears to be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh yeah, that's very far.
So that's pretty far away, but there's quite a lot of them still on the West Coast. So
company trip.
Yeah, it's like a cheap hot dog chain. It's not.
Oh
that good,
yeah, someone just said it's like the new Taco Bell.
Yeah, but Taco Bell's maybe better.
Oh really?
I like Taco Bell.
I just haven't had it in a while.
Yeah.
Was it like KFC meets Taco Bell or something like down the road?
Now it's just a Taco Bell.
Oh, they absorbed the KFC.
Yeah, you mean the one? It
was like by a PetSmart or something like that.
I'm thinking of a different one. I'm talking about the one that's it's by Anyway.
Okay. Clumsy's taking his SMITE cart there right now. That's right. Vroom vroom. We're going.
With SMITE Prime finished for the year, are there any plans for SMITE Prime starting up in the new year? We definitely don't have it. We don't have anything to announce quite yet. We know that there is a desire for competitive esports. As soon as we have something to announce, we will. But yeah, I think like right now it's on hold because of the holidays. Like people don't want to commit to playing on the weekends during the holidays because they've got stuff to do. So yeah, we'll have more to announce soon, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough question, and I'm not sure how much I want to talk about it right now, but there's been discussions on Reddit. I mean, we're talking about here, what would we do one day when Charybdis comes out? Charybdis, I'm generally still happy with the way Charybdis functioned in terms of her gameplay kit and the way it flowed. I think the biggest discussion point was just the ultimate and how clunky that felt.
It was clunky, and it was also, like, she just had a lot of immunity.
She had immunity with the 3 was the biggest thing, right? But like, is the 3's immunity that much stronger than Hu Yi's immunity?
Yeah, that's fair.
And the timing, I think, went both ways, where I think it's actually slower to get into the immunity state than Hu Yi. But the fact that it's like still damaging you, right, while she's immune is another thing that people were frustrated about. Or the fact that she wasn't just a whirlpool monster, which, I mean, regardless of whether you're that diehard in that boat, she still was quite well received. I think Charybdis is pretty quite cool, especially with like the Maw. That being said, the immunity stuff in the 3, I'm less worried about. Sure, we can address that or not address that, honestly. I haven't decided, but that Charybdis is not next for the record, so I'm not worried about this. But the ulti would definitely be something that we would want to clean up. I wouldn't want to say that we would rework it, but we would try and do as much as we could to make it feel better, if timing permitted. So that would be the main thing.
Green buff. A common request.
Oh, jeez.
I feel like one of the big differences between SMITE 1 and SMITE 2, this also applies to the Tiki stuff, right, is that
people forget this.
You can pick up multiple buffs in SMITE 2, and in SMITE 1 you could pick up 1 buff.
Yeah, you're saying support green buff. What I'm hearing is mid laner 2nd buff.
Yeah.
Or jungler's 3rd buff.
Yeah. So I think that like that's kind of one of the issues with this, with the approach of everybody can pick up buffs is having a designated buff per role maybe doesn't have as much value as it once did.
Yeah. And so I'm almost kind of curious because I feel like people don't talk about that as much. If with the Tiki discussion and the green buff discussion, not saying we're going to necessarily go in that direction, but just almost as a thought exercise, would you guys still want either of those things if we had to say everyone only gets 1 buff again, right? Like, or does one of those outweigh the other? Like, do people like multiple buffs more than they like some of these other things? Again, not saying that we're going to go in that direction, but it is something that's kind of interesting and curious. Right. And again, I'm not going to say that we're going to do anything like this, but it's similar to the double relic discussion. It's like, okay, if you want 2 relics, it would mean 1 less active. It would have to go down to 2 actives max if we were to bring 2 relics. People don't like, that is a limitation that we are putting forward. It's like, we at Hi-Rez are going to say that would be the trade-off if we were to ever do something like that. And I'm not saying we are, because it's more so of a thought exercise.
Yeah. So now people are like, well, make it so it only works on the support. It's like, it's like, well, I mean, I think that there's, we don't necessarily generally like things that are, if it's on the map that only one person can pick up and use, right?
Yeah.
And there's also the risk of like, you're like, oh, make a scale with prots, right? Well, if it becomes more of a jungler thing, then maybe tanky junglers become the thing so they can benefit from the extra buffs they're picking up, right? Everything has unintended side effects, Just give it GP5. It'll be good for support, Hindu Man says. Yeah, because when you put GP5 on anything, everybody in the game buys it if they can,
was
right?
It like when Boombas or one of that was like, it was just meta for everyone?
Yeah, it was like 4 Boombas or whatever every game.
I think the support starters, we had to like make sure we had like 50 clauses on them to make sure people couldn't get them, multiple of them. Yeah, I mean, you could tie buffs. You could definitely ham fist things and make it so that people only get certain stuff. But then that's just also somewhat less exciting too, right? Like the flexibility of being able to do different things. Like, what if you? What if you don't have a jungler one game? Oh, that sounds insane. What if you don't have 2 mages or whatever? Maybe like that doesn't. You can't just restrict everyone that heavily.
And if only one role can get it, then why don't you just put it on their starter?
Sure.
Like, why does it need to be a buff at that point, right? So it's like. There's all of these interweaving issues.
But not to say we're not going to do something.
No.
It's just the stuff.
Those are the things we talk about, yeah.
Like, every time people say that, I just kind of want to make it obvious that we have discussed those kinds of things. It's not stuff that we just, like, leave and be.
Are Conquest gameplay changes still going to release this year? Yeah, we are still targeting Conquest gameplay updates for the next update. Not the one that goes live tomorrow, but the one 2 weeks from tomorrow. Fingers crossed that everything that we want to do can get done, and we get to ship that. But yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah, Hinduman brings actually a different point, and as a tank main, we all must listen to him. Personally, I don't want to be tied down to being at 1 of 2 points on rotation as support. Yeah, it does mean that, if it's something that you have to have as a support because it's your buff, that means on cooldown you have to be there too. That is interesting.
I don't know if there's any skins like this in Smite 1, but it'd be cool to do cross-Pantheon skins, like a Norse-style skin for Zeus or an Egyptian-style Susanoo. We did some of these.
I actually really
nobody bought them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the only ones that went...
The Valkyrie Kali or whatever it was called, the Norse Kali. I thought it was dope.
That's a little bit different,
right?
because that was like an event, and those were early days of Smite, So
what were the other ones?
We
those
did
the
some
two that
Celtic ones. We did a Celtic event that did not do very well.
The Norse Kali and the Norse Chalk, I think, were done very well.
Yeah, there were some other ones I can't remember right now, but we did a couple of them that just did not.
Norse Mulan missed. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Norse Mulan didn't do great.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that one.
I like that skin a lot, but it just didn't do great. I think it's, generally speaking, I feel like players feel like I get mythology skins for free in this game. Why am I going to pay you for a mythology skin? Because if I want to be a Norse god, I'll just go be a Norse god, right? Like I don't
totally, absolutely. Why if I'm playing a god, I want to be something completely different.
Yeah. So I think that it's just like one of those things where it's not different enough to make people excited.
No, that's a good point.
Thor wedding dress. See, now that's good. That's different. People like that. What do you feel about Cerberus's aspect?
Man, the bar has shifted a lot for aspects. Is what I'm gonna say, and that is self-inflicted. We've made some pretty crazy aspects out there. And we continue to do so because, we've kind of found our stride and we found the kind of expectation from the community and stuff. We want to make sure we fulfill. That being said, I know Pon said this, I know Cap said this, but I'm going to reiterate that the RTO one is pretty out there. We're not going to be doing them of that caliber all the time. That being said, obviously, and we've said this many times before, there are so many aspects that we do want to revisit. Some of the earliest aspects were done and kind of just put out there to see, as a
do people even system. Like aspects? Because we weren't sure that people were going to like the system when we first did
absolutely.
It, right?
We absolutely we weren't sure. We kind of just it was like me in a closet for like 2 months, just like hoping. And that was like the most stressful time because we put them into playtest and people were like, "What is it? What's going on here? Like, I don't like this." And I was like, "Oh god." But anyways, we do want to get back and revisit some of the aspects. Cerberus, sometimes has balance tuning that can do a little bit more. I wouldn't say Cerberus is one that we would want to change in the same vein as we'd want to change like Hercules or something like that, right? But we do always have thoughts on going back. We've got another aspect that was playtested today on an old god. So this is like a small spoiler, but we have an aspect planned for some time in the future that we playtested today that was for an old god that hasn't gotten an aspect yet. And, it was quite strong, so I had to I dialed that back. But it was fun for me.
Yeah, it was fun for you. You were very strong today. Do we feel like it is a double-edged sword when many gods can flex into many roles because it's interesting to advanced players and more challenging to understand for new players? So I think the goal is actually it should be easier to understand for new players because you can just pick a god that you like and play the god that you like. And that god will work in almost every role, right? That's kind of the goal, is that like new players, one of the things we saw a lot in SMITE 1, right? New players play Neith because Neith is the tutorial god and they stick with Neith. And just to a slightly lesser extent, people do that in SMITE 2 as well, right? And, if they got a it didn't matter what role they got, they were playing Neith as a new player, right? Now that's not completely destroying your team in the same way that it was previously, right? Because you can flex into other roles a lot more easily.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough one. I mean, I can agree that the skill floor has slightly increased due to like the knowledge barrier. But that being said, it doesn't
matter at low levels. At low levels, you're just
I would almost argue that that's already the case anyways. With one, for MOBAs, I hate using that as an argument, but like two, regardless of the whole aspect discussion. Take Neith, right? You can build Neith as pure attack damage, attack speed, Tierfing, Odie bow, right? And you're going to have to play around that Neith very differently to full int or full ability damage, Crusher, Heartseeker, ability damage Neith, or going to just put this out there because it is possible, Arrows bow, tanky, Lifebinder, supportive Neith, which is a completely different type of gameplay, right? It does require a lot more thought, and it is harder for new players. It's harder for even invested players like me to fully understand that sometimes. Could there be more information that we can guide? I think I actually had this interesting conversation with someone in the Discord. Actually, my community was, because I was not paying attention to it. Or I was paying attention, but I did not want to engage in it. Of just like, how much information can you give to people? Like, their point was, hey, can we give more information on whether I'm taking physical damage or magical damage? And it's like, yes, we could do more. We did try more. We actually did try doing color-coded different damage numbers, and people didn't like that. But what we did do is, like, on the scoreboard, you see it on, like, the little circle portraits. On your damage recap, you see it as different colors. Like, we did do a lot of things. Maybe it's not enough for a lot of people. Maybe you actually want a tooltip that's like, hey, you just died to physical damage. Buy physical protections. Yes. But there's diminishing returns on how much we can do. And it's a bit tough. It's a similar argument when people are like, hey, we need a glossary. And Pond was on here talking about how no one clicked on the glossary, right? It's like, okay, it would be nice to have a lot of these things, but at that point, it might just be easier to be like, hey, just have a look at the wiki.
What can you guys do for me so I don't have to think at all while playing this game? That's a good take, right? I mean, I think that it's a fine line to walk between how do we make the game understandable and approachable to players while still maintaining the depth, right? Because that's what people love about this game. That's why you play it for thousands of hours, is because there's a lot to do.
That's why I want to bring up MOBAs again. Like, MOBAs have such an intricate amount of depth that make it so exciting when you engage with it and you're constantly playing it and you want to learn. But if you want to just be in it as a new player and just frag and destroy and go on a 10 killing streak, like, MOBAs aren't really going to be that same hit. And I'm not going to use that too much as an excuse, but it's tough. And it's one of the reasons why you're seeing less and less of them out there. And it's something that we are challenged by, that we're going to continue trying working on. But sometimes it's a little bit of a barrier.
Well, it's 1:58, so I suppose we could probably do
one more question
and wrap up our show today. Remember to log in tomorrow for our new update with RTO and all the other things, and no CC buffering and lots of stuff. I believe that our in-game sale is still live today.
Oh yeah.
So if you want to get 25% off almost everything in game.
That's pretty good.
It's a pretty good deal.
Also, don't forget to log in every day for the Yule Fest Advent calendar thing that's been going on.
Yeah,
I've been missing some, and I keep punching myself.
Yeah.
You do get more days than the days that are there for the event, so if you miss a day or 2 or 5, I think that's okay, but definitely log in. I got some diamonds yesterday. So
somebody says Tomartio, which I love. That's great.
Damn, it's spun.
Let's see. We got to pick one more question here.
I don't think this is it. How popular is the SMITE 2 wiki? I don't know. I use the SMITE 1 and the SMITE 2 wiki all the time. So
yeah, I think that we're pretty pleased with the traffic and interest in the new SMITE 2 wiki.
Love that. Blink twice if we get Tiamat. I'm gonna just have to wink for the rest of my unit.
I will wade into something that I probably should not wade into.
I feel like we've done quite a bit of that.
Why do content creators not just ask you guys stuff? I think that like this is a fair take. So this is
I'm
like
curious
what
the context.
I'm assuming that it's like content creators make these videos complaining about X thing or whatever, and we're like, well, they never even told us that this was an issue, right?
Yeah, they want to.
Yeah, I think it's like, to some extent, content creation is it's to some extent it's a money-making business, right?
Yeah.
And having hot takes drives viewership and drives making money, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think to some extent, because you are good at content creation does not necessarily mean that you are like talking with us about issues is almost like, not exactly, but it's almost like a QA skill set.
Sure.
It's like, and I think that it's not necessarily the same, right? And a lot of content creators can make a really good video about something and talk about it, but not really post about it and convey their feelings in text in the same way, right?
Right.
We would always rather if content creators came to us first with any issues they're having and let us talk through it, right? But I don't think you're ever going to get all of your content creators are 100% on board and never making critical videos about the game. And I don't think we would want everybody to never be making critical videos about the game, right?
It's tough because there was I'm not going to say who or what, but there was like a video that a content creator made within this last week or so.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. That like, I was just like, oh man, even some people in this was like, yeah, it's weird that he talked about that because we know that that's not going to like be something that matters for like whatever. It's like, this might have been hurtful, but at the same time, they're doing it for different reasons. They're doing it for different goals. And that, like you said, it's a business.
Yeah. You want to pick a question, or did you pick one?
I technically didn't. We can answer this question that I don't like, but you called me Mr. Wardman Clumsy, which it's Lunchbox. Thoughts on more active items? More active items having relic effects kind of makes up. Okay, well, that's a tough one because, we are having discussions like that, and we are looking to find ways to kind of assuage the 2 relic discussion without just bringing up 2 relics. So, there are ideas like that we have in mind. I don't think we'll be able to get anything like that direction too quickly unless we go crazy mode, but sometimes we do. But the relic discussion is absolutely on our mind, and we know that we know the desire for it. That being said, it's always really interesting because I feel like the discussion is split, right? Like we hear content creators talk about it a lot, and they're almost saying it not in a very, very different goal than everyone else, which is, I think there's a lot of content creators who are like, hey, I don't even care if I had if it's limited to 1 offense and 1 defense relic. Like I want the ability to go blink and beads or something like that. But what everyone else is saying is that they're going to go, and what everyone else is going to do is they're going to want beads and Aegis every single game. Like frankly speaking, if we brought 2 relics into the game, it would be beads, Aegis with a 90% purchase rate. Yeah. Like that's just fact, which would then make people, and then content creators like, yeah, but then I can use beads to go in aggressively and then Aegis to go. It's like, no, we had that same discussion before. We know what it's going to be. Everyone's going to be a little bit more survivable on a little bit more often. Like, I'm not saying that we're not going to do anything like that, but we know what's going to happen. We know it's going to be beads and Aegis if we didn't limit it, which people are going to want 90% of the time, and we know people are going to survive more than that, and then people are going to ask, hey, now lower TTK because of the survivability increase, right? It's a really tough thing, and we want to lean on active items. We want to do it in a way that is still accessible for people too. And then that's the other slice of the pie finally, which I know people don't want to hear, but like, relics are, if you do 2 relics, you're enforcing the fact that people need to now press another active item. You can go and still play this game without buying any active items, and we're still basically saying, hey, you got this 1 relic, and we really expect you to press this 1 relic. But now if we go into 2 relic world, we're saying, hey, you can go 0 active items, where you have 2 relics, we're really expecting you. We're balancing the game and everything around you, pressing 2 buttons now at the right time. And that is still scary. These are all really tough discussions, again, that we need to be very careful of. It's not nearly as simple as just like do it.
Yep. Well, lots of interesting questions today, lots of good topics. Don't forget to log in tomorrow, see our new OB24 update with RTO, a ton of balance stuff, and a test where CC buffering will be turned off. So let us know how you feel about everything when it goes live tomorrow morning. And we will see you on the battleground of the gods. Okay, bye-bye.
Peace out.